Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the First of the Worst podcast. My name is Brendan Murphy.
And I'm Steve Arendis.
And Steve, today, I must say that I don't like to champion myself all the time, just most of the time. But I will say, of all the days I'm gonna toot my own horn, today is a day because I'm a fucking warrior for podcasting today.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of your flu game.
I am doing it in spite of overwhelming adversity, because today is a post-wedding travel day for me.
Yeah, and you're hungover. It's just like the flu.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, ranking. Maybe we should have just done types of hangovers, but post-wedding travel hangover is I would say it's number one.
It's close. If it's not number one, it's in the conversation. It's definitely top three.
Oh, team picture for sure.
We're writing. I'm writing this down right now for a future list. Hangovers.
I mean, it might be just Las Vegas hangover. Might be number one. Where I just off the top of my head speculate as to anything that could challenge this.
Send in ideas. If you have ideas, send them into firstoftheworst@gmail.com for our future list of hangovers.
Yeah, I actually love that list.
It's a great list.
Today's list is also kind of drinking centric in a way. It is the top 10 wedding cliches, or the 10 best wedding cliches, because weddings are great, but sometimes people act like dumbasses during them, and some things about them can be a little dumb.
Yeah, mine is about things that are done at weddings, kind of. They're cliches because you don't need to do any of these things.
I mean, what I almost wanted to call is wedding traditions.
Yeah, traditions, cliches. Like, I don't have, like, celebrating love, because that's not a cliche. That's actually what the wedding is.
No. They're like things that are totally extraneous.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Some of these things you might not think are extraneous, but they are. Let's just get into it then.
Yeah, we will. And as I said, I'm on the heels of returning from a wedding, and you are a week removed from a wedding yourself. So we both had some wedding in our life lately.
Yeah. And my wife's a wedding planner.
And your wife's a wedding planner. And I love weddings, and I've been planning mine for years. Yeah. Which some people find weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't usually go over that well on a first date, but people need to know me. I need to be myself, right?
I'm going to plug my wife's business. Go to lourdeslorraine.com if you need a wedding planner. Search it. She's good. She's actually very good.
Yeah, I mean, she's already told me she won't plan my wedding because I'll be too much of a diva. So
she says that the men are the worst. The guys who like tamper are the worst. All right, let's just kick it off, man.
All right, sorry, I got a little distracted. Oh, my number 10 is something that honestly it could be cool if done right, but I've never had it done. Like, it's the entrance of the bridal party, the wedding party, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, it's just
where you're like 30 seconds before they're like, guys, remember to do something crazy and quirky to show off your personality, and you're like,
I don't think I put this on my list. I could have put I had 30 things I could have put on this list.
Okay, I put this on my list because I hate it, and I just wanted to mention that I hate it.
I hate it too. We didn't have one at my wedding. The last wedding I went to didn't have one. You don't need it. It doesn't need to be there. Well, just don't do it.
Well, you need the bride and the groom entrance. But
yeah, that's fine. They don't need to do it. The bride and the groom don't need to do anything cheesy. That's what we had. They just announced us, and we walked in. Done. Boom.
I mean, for one, I obviously think that the only song that's acceptable to come into is the Chicago Bulls entry music, except maybe I saw one on YouTube.
It's not acceptable, actually, because we're adults.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I am, for one.
I mean, it's that or Stone Cold Steve Austin's entrance music.
I was going to say wrestling music, just in general.
None of those things are actually acceptable. If you're like 22, they're acceptable.
So last night at this wedding, they were like, do something quirky. And I was like, we're going to do something amazing called Dignity. And we just walked in like normal human beings.
Like waved. And like, we're classy adults. Like, yeah, this was, I seriously could do 30 things for this list. So this is great. That I'm glad.
Okay. Well, that is my number 10. But before you get into your list, do you want to list off a few of the ones that didn't make the cut?
I don't know if you don't have to mention. I won't say anything about them, but in case you have them on your list, mine's not full open bar. Cake smash in the face. Let's see what else we have here.
Okay, I have cake smash in the face.
We'll talk about it later.
I think it's. Oh no, I don't have it. That didn't make my list, but I hate it.
I hate it too, but it didn't make the list because it's here's why it's not the end of the world. Actually, is because it's really fast and it's over with.
Okay. Also, I should say that I do wedding prop bets. I had a pretty good list. Maybe I'll read it off.
Oh, dude, I've been doing that for years.
I'd like to think that I arrived at this on my own on my own validity.
When did you start them?
Okay, so the genesis is that we used to always bet better speech, best man, or best woman. I like to call it best woman. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. You do speech. You do girl crying during the speech, which is obviously yes. If the guy's actually funny. You do genre of dance musics for all 3 dances.
Let me just read you off my list for this wedding. Clearly, I came locked and loaded for this week.
Okay, yeah, you had a good one, yeah.
But it is the prop bets is for prop bets on this wedding. It's obviously some of the people you won't know.
Yeah.
But over unders number of times the bride cries 3.5.
Okay.
Went under that. Okay. Number of times the groom or anyone in his family cries 0.5.
Oh, over.
Went over.
Yeah,
it was him.
That's an easy over.
It was him.
I know, it's an easy over.
Time of service 55 minutes. This was
Catholic wedding?
No, it was something called evangelical free. So it was kind of a wild card.
I would have gone under.
It was way under, actually. Yeah. Did the ceremony start late? Was one. It did, which is actually not a good prop bet because it never doesn't. And then there was some specific, like this wedding ended with a karaoke, which I might get into some details of that later. Number of times the groom takes the mic during karaoke.
And
then there were some like, which one of our friends will make out? I won't list names. Things like that.
We always do drunkest bridal part, drunkest wedding party member. So it's great when you go to a wedding you don't know because you got to get that pamphlet at the beginning. And it has the names and people write their name when they pick the guy next to the names on the thing. And you go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, so the key is you don't know. It's whoever writes their name down. You pick your guys as soon as you get there and get the wedding sheet. And you get the official sheet, and then whoever claims guys first gets them. It's no draft order. So you can wait as long as possible to make your pick. But if you want the best horse, you have to pick it as early as possible.
Well, there's even another evolution of research in that. You can now see wedding websites at least usually have pictures of everyone, or oftentimes have pictures of people in the party, in the respective bridal and groomsmen parties.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
I mean, I wrote this list. I wrote my prop bets over like 3 days. I put a lot of thought into them.
But yeah, the best though is then what happens with that bet though with the drunkest bridal party member is that you totally tamper in that bet.
Oh, that's one of the gentleman's agreements of my thing is you cannot affect destiny. Oh, you have to be an observer.
Part of the gentleman's agreement is that you are very much supposed to try to get these people as drunk as you can.
Well,
the best part was one of my buddies once started buying Patron shots in like his sidebar for his guy, and then me and the other guy in the bet brought in like 6 more people, and he was obligated to buy us all Patron shots, which resulted in like $110 round of shots.
That is a good move. See, but yours is not really betting. Yours is just straight up competing.
Well, that one is. The other one's
just straight up competing.
Yeah. Yeah. You get an inside job. Yeah, you get somebody else to do it too. Yeah, it's great. All right, so we'll get to my number 10 here.
Yeah.
Receiving line.
Oh, good one. I didn't put it on my list, but
it's
totally
brutal, man. You don't need it. And it's like everybody just wants to get out of the actual wedding and get into the reception or to the bar between or whatever. Like, just don't hold it up, man. We'll see you at the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone does them.
No, you don't need to do it. A lot of my things that this is something to say you shouldn't do at the wedding. You just don't. So we have a little different perspective. As I've been married. I have married, and you have not been.
In spite of my best efforts, I have not been. No.
Yeah, receiving line blows. I'm gonna offend so many people in this. This is probably the one where I actually offend the most people, including the one where I talked about wars.
Yeah, the wars one. Well, the wars one, we were too buttoned up.
Yeah,
I mean, right now I'm definitely not drunk or anything, but I'm definitely at the point where you're like too tired to give a shit.
All right, I'll go to my number 9, which is probably most people have at their weddings, and you don't need to do it. Head tables are fucking horrible.
Okay, this wedding yesterday did not have one, and it was lovely.
Love it. How did they do it? Did he like sit with his family? Did they go solo, just the two of them?
They went solo.
That's what me and my wife did. We went solo, just the two of us.
Also, then I got to sit with my friends.
Exactly. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And the worst head table of them all is the elevated in a line. So then you can only talk to two people, right? You can only talk to the people next to you, and that like the dates aren't at. So like if the dates are just like sitting somewhere else, which is the worst if you like if you're the date and you like don't know anybody else at the wedding, really.
Yeah.
Because I've been that guy twice. But yeah, no. So they went sweetheart table. That's what it's called in the biz.
I actually didn't know that.
That's what it's called in the biz, sweetheart table. So the correct move is sweetheart table, or just like, a table with like both your parents at it, and maybe like the best man and bridesmaid and maid of honor or something. Like the people that matter, and like in a round sort of table, so you can actually talk to people.
I'm into this arrange. I'm into the arrangement that I got yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. That's what we did.
Sure.
I loved it. I'm just saying, you can do it a couple ways. What's your number 9?
Including a pet in the ceremony.
I've been to many.
Not really. I don't really like it very much. I haven't been to that many, but I know it happens a lot.
I think the last 2 I've been to had a dog involved.
I don't know. I mean, a ring bearer is equally annoying, I guess. So I guess it's to pick your poison.
Yeah. You didn't have any of that stuff. What's your 8?
And my 8 is this is surely going to be on yours. Something about this will be on yours.
Okay.
Acting like you don't want to catch the garter belt as a man.
Oh, well,
be a fucking competitor.
I totally disagree.
And catch that fucking garter belt.
I 100% disagree with what you're saying. Because my number 8 is garter belt toss / bouquet toss / garter belts existing in general.
Well, no, they're pretty hot. I mean,
no, they're disgusting. In a wedding situation, garter belts are disgusting. Garter
obviously,
belts,
but in life they can be kind of hot.
Garter belts are disgusting in any situation where they weren't put on like right before you see them.
Sure.
But you don't want to catch the garter belt. I've never once in my life attempted to catch the garter belt.
Maybe it's just the garter. Maybe it's not the garter belt. I don't know what
the garter, is. Whatever. You never. Wait. Yeah. You want to? You try to catch that thing?
Yeah, because I want to win.
It's fucking disgusting. It's repulsive.
Well, I'm a winner, Steve, and I'm a competitor.
I am a competitor too. Not playing that game. In fact, I didn't even go up for it a lot of the times. I would just not participate.
We are different types of men.
Bouquet toss, same, not as bad. Not as bad as garter toss, but you don't need either one. You don't need to do it, guys. Just don't.
You know what? I'm also thinking of another thing that I hate about the bouquet and garter toss, and that is when a child wins either of them.
Oh, child wins garter toss 95% of the time, which is disgusting. Because they're the only unless it lands right in a guy's hands, kids picking it up off the ground.
Last night, I think it was rigged because this guy's about to get married, it seemed like. But
yeah, I've never come close to winning one.
See, here's the move that I just thought of. Catching it and then like being single and going up to a girl and being like, so looks like I got a pretty big couple of years ahead. You want me to buy you a drink?
That's not a good move.
Girls like husbanding up. Not a good joke either, apparently. In my head, it sounded better.
So that was my number 8 was garter bouquet toss.
Okay.
So that's yeah, and just garter, no.
I guess it is just like essentially a headband for the legs.
Yeah, for the upper thigh. And most likely they've been wearing a really hot wedding dress because wedding dresses are usually like pretty warm. And unless they're like a super summery wedding and they're like wearing something like really thin, but usually wedding dresses are like pretty substantial and they're warm. And they're wearing like extreme underwear and stuff under there. Okay. My number 7 is cheesy. It's another big cluster one I did, and I call it cheesy wedding dances.
Yeah.
So this is like all line dances, the chicken dance, The bane of my existence, shout.
Shout would be one. I mean, we kind of did this list already, but shout would be definitely toward the top for me of these.
If you had to break out this category into its own list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hate shout. The people that get super into shout, because people expect me to participate in shout. They don't expect me to participate in line dances.
The electric slide and
things like exactly. That. Shout comes on, people expect me to be excited for it, and I just fucking hate it. And then you get the guy who's laying on the floor. That guy is himself is a cliche.
Hey, I mean, some of us have been that guy.
I said this is going to be the one where I offend the most people, including possibly the person on the other side of the screen I'm looking at.
Too tired to care.
All right. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is unprompted performing. That includes unprompted speeches.
I can't unprompted singing this.
And unprompted playing with the wedding band. Because I've seen all those at various stages of my wedding going career.
Yeah. So I've seen an unprompted musical performance that involved a guitar. That's right. Dude brought a guitar for
So you're saying it kind of cross pollinates a couple of my options.
Oh, really?
Like kind of like playing with the band and singing. It would only be better if he got the band and he was like, "Hey guys, like G minor. That's great."
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great one. I totally forgot about. Do you consider unprompted speeches as part of this?
I also should point out that this does not include the bride or the groom singing to the bride or vice versa, because that is clearly planned, but a surprise.
That was planned. Yeah, and basically the groom and bride are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, so that does not count in this, I should point out.
Yeah, I agree. Let's
like if something is a surprise, it's not unprompted.
That's different, right? Yeah, it's different. Yes. You consider unprompted speeches as part of this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the wedding I was at
least 3.
Wedding I was at last Saturday probably had 20 speeches, including myself. And this is a thing I think might become, I don't know if this is true or not, but everything I know about gay weddings now involves tons of speeches.
They are making up for years of non-weddings.
Yeah. But yeah, tons of speeches. So like what happened was at this wedding, people started giving speeches, right? And so there's a bunch of speeches. And then like later on, this dude comes up. And so one of these guys that got married, my buddy Josh, he's like in the ad industry. And then like all these like ad industry blowhards went up there and started making speeches.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is not a shot at you, Josh. I love you. But so then it's like me and my buddies were like, well, this is kind of shitty because like my buddy Colin, who he got married to, is like we went to high school with and college with, and we're like, well, now we have to go up there and say something because it's like all these dudes from his like the other guy side of the wedding are like making speeches. You know what I mean?
So then it became a pissing contest.
So then we had 3 of us just walked up there and just started giving speeches. There was probably like 20 speeches at the wedding. At some point, you're like, well, I'm closer to these guys than all these other people who are giving speeches. Now I'm like, am I an asshole if I don't give a speech? Yeah, it was a snowball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nodding because I don't really have a response. I'm just processing.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It wasn't bad. People, but then there's some people who just aren't going to give speeches, right? They're too not into that. All right, man.
And there's some people who just are going to give them.
Yeah, no matter what. At some point, though, the 3 of us at our table are like, God damn it, we're doing this. Yeah, we're like,
hey, so you did it out of a place of good intention and heroics.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
That is as far as an unprompted speech goes, that's a good place to start.
Also, I would never be the guy who like it was like, so it was unprompted, but it was also like at a part of the wedding where it was like, this is what's going on. Like, right, this has gotten to a point where like people are just grabbing the mic and giving speeches. Yeah, the first guy who started that round is the asshole who literally gave a terrible speech and then was like, who else wants to give a speech, and held the mic out.
I bet that guy ran the marathon today and is going to tell everyone about it tomorrow at work.
He didn't look like he was running the marathon today.
Okay.
All right. Are we on your number 6, perhaps?
We are on my number 6. This is honestly my number 6 and my number 3 are kind of similar, but I think that they are different because one involves a rehearsal dinner, one involves a reception. Okay. Getting super drunk the night before the wedding at the rehearsal dinner / welcoming party.
That's a tradition unlike any other, though.
That maybe 6 is too low for it, but yeah, I mean that's a cliche that I am with every time.
My wife's move is to get so drunk the night before that she's throwing up when she's getting her hair done the next day.
My mom got so drunk at her rehearsal dinner, she called my dad and said, "I don't think I can get married today."
Oh, that was the one time I didn't do it was at my own. And same with my wife. The one time I didn't do it was at my I had like a couple drinks. I did not need to be hungover for my wedding.
A friend of mine was getting married about 3 or 4 years ago, and we got really drunk, and we all stayed downtown at a hotel in a suite before. And I came home, and there was 2 12-packs of Corona and just like 7 or 8 like ice cream treats unopened on the nightstand.
Yeah, I didn't even get that. Well, I got drunk at my wedding, but I didn't get drunk until like once we were sitting down at dinner.
I think people often do not get drunk at their own wedding.
I did. But like,
oh, well, I think you should.
Want to. It's like it's the party. There's 2 times in your life whenever that many people you like are going to be somewhere, and it's the one time you're going to be alive.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really. So you should enjoy it. You should enjoy it. So then my number 6. Are we on here?
We're on. Yeah, you're 6.
So in general, I'm calling this dinging glasses.
Ew.
And you know the dinging of the glasses to make the bride and groom.
Yeah.
There's so many things wrong with this. One is it's not your whatever. It's annoying. It's super annoying. But then everybody starts doing it. It can get out of control. And just happen all night. It's a terrible thing. I think we kissed once at our wedding. We're like, stop it. Let's stop this. Okay, and then my number 5.
Do you think the Duggars do that at their weddings? Because haven't they never kissed anyone?
The Duggars?
Aren't they the people who have 18 kids and counting and have like never? Do they don't even kiss people until they get married?
Probably. Except for the one that was like a molester
and a sex addict.
Well, that's what you say when you're a molester. So doesn't make it sound more real.
Well, he also did have the Ashley Madison profile.
That's true.
Maybe a repressive culture makes you a little weird.
Maybe. It's possible.
Maybe.
I bet there's one normal Duggar.
Out of the 18?
Yeah.
It'll be the one that runs away.
If I don't let him run away. All right. My number 5 is the so I'm gonna preface this is there's a way to do this correctly, but it's the video montage. Don't make everybody sit and watch the video montage for half an hour in the middle of a wedding and waste a bunch of time. Don't do it. Just like you can do it like have it playing like during the cocktail hour, like the whole time on a loop, or like have it playing like on some screen, like where people like sign the book or whatever.
You're talking about the slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can what you do is just have it going for the duration of the party or whatever.
Exactly. And I'm totally cool with that. But don't do the thing where you're like, now everybody's going to sit here and sit at your table, be quiet while we watch a slideshow.
You know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of the Academy Awards when they do the slideshow of all the people who died.
Oh, somebody should do that at a wedding. Like just all the people they've known in their life that died and do it in memoriam at their wedding.
And play Sarah McLachlan. And then like put in like 2 or 3 famous celebrities who died. Like Grandma Rose. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Well, celebrities that meant a lot to you.
Uncle Lenny.
Anybody who meant a lot to you.
Jesus Christ. Just
that doesn't count because he was dead before you were alive.
Okay, that doesn't.
What is your number 5?
This one I like and maybe could put higher. I call it nods to heritage. So, you know, at a lot of the weddings I've gone to, there's been bagpipers in the church, which I enjoy. I think it's a nice little way to walk out.
An Irish wedding, but it sounds cool.
you know, you've been to a Jewish wedding. The whole chair thing is kind of cool. I went to a wedding.
That's like the coolest thing that happens at a wedding, by the way. That might be like the single coolest wedding tradition.
It seems like a bit of an insurance liability.
Playing danger's cool.
And probably a few insurance type people in there. So
you're good. Lawyers, in case something bad.
Lawyers, lots of lawyers. And or like I went to a Greek Orthodox wedding and they did, I mean, they were super Greek and they did like their own Greek dancing.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like
I went to a Serbian Orthodox wedding. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You do the things that are important. Tradition is important.
Yeah.
So I have that high.
You go to a Polish wedding, you're going to polka and I'm going to polka and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of getting to the point of the list where like these things are generally things I kind of enjoy.
Everything on the way up from here is something that's not terrible for me. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool though. I agree. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I like that. What's your number 4?
Members of the wedding party hooking up.
I totally didn't think about this. As a member, like 2 members of the wedding party hooking up.
Yeah, like with each other.
Here's the thing. I've been to so many weddings, and like, is this actually as common as TV and movies would have me believe? It
happened to 2 people, to 2 separate wedding party members of a 7-person wedding party. So that means more than 20% of the wedding party intermingled last night.
Maybe I haven't been to a lot of weddings where there was a bunch of single people on each side.
I've never. Maybe I think once I made out with a girl I met at a wedding. I've never had any, but I'm not good at girls, so the wedding part doesn't really matter. Doesn't
seem ideal for you for your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to meeting ladies.
Actually, it kind of because it's not internet dating.
Your strengths, and they all know who you are.
Yeah, I mean, actually, though, like, if ever I'm seeing someone now, and she wasn't there last night, because she would have not been able to really, like, as we were talking about earlier, like, I was the best man, so she would have been like, kind of on her own all day, and that would have been kind of brutal in the state, in like another state,
yeah,
setup. But I think best man is like your chance. Also, when you give a speech that like I gave, which stands with the Gettysburg Address and the "I Have a Dream" speech is among the greatest speeches ever written. That also helps.
How long was it?
3 minutes. Can you believe I got it to 3 minutes?
That's fucking awesome. I have no doubt, knowing you, that if you got a speech of 3 minutes, it was actually a really good speech. My fear with you giving a speech was that it would be like 20 minutes.
Well, the first 10 about myself.
Yeah. And then some weird rambling in the middle.
It's going off the rails. Like,
but if you told me your speech is 3 minutes, I guarantee it was a good speech.
Yeah. And now I'm kind of rambling right now. But fine. Wedding party hookups are a funny cliche. And you're right. That is kind of a movie cliche, but it does happen.
Oh, yeah. I like it. That's a good one.
You don't like it as much when the wedding party hookup is going on in the room you're sharing. And it's not involving you.
Well, that's on you for sharing rooms.
I don't know. Going with another single dude, it seemed. Yeah, I mean, I guess that was a possibility.
Another single dude.
Well, I'm solo for the wedding. Yeah. What, are you trying to get me in trouble here? Yeah. After this podcast, I will once again be single. Thanks, Steve.
Kidding. Oh, was that your number 5 or your number 4?
That was my number 4.
Okay, so my number 4 is any gift that's not cash. It's still nice. It's a gift, but come on, guys.
Cash. My mom is an off-registry gift giver, and it drives me insane. And you know why? Also, because like one day I'm going to get married, and I'm going to get all this random weird shit.
Guess what? Guess what, Patty? Everybody hates you. At least for 10 minutes when they realize they got something off the registry. Because then, like, depending on what it is, like, you can't just like get rid of it.
No, they're oftentimes from Door County, from like art galleries and things.
Yeah, like keep it in your house somewhere. Nobody wants that.
I mean, for my 30th birthday, my mom got me like a really like nice painting. That I was like, that's a very generous gift, and you guess where that gift lives? My mom and dad's kitchen.
You know what a gift sneaky is annoying is checks instead of cash. Because like people write them to like names that like don't exist yet. So it's like, and like somebody hasn't legally, they'll be like Mr. and Mrs. Steven and Jessica Arendas. Well, Jessica Arendas isn't a person yet. She doesn't exist yet until she changes her name legally.
And you can't cash it. I never thought about
you
that.
can. It's a big ordeal though. It's a big ordeal. You have to like go to the bank and you do this, like you sit down with these people and you like sign all these things 8 different ways. Whatever. You're making money when you're just at the end of the world. Cash.
I just get nervous about cash because I get nervous that the card will get lost or I'll lose it. I mean, it's less. I mean, a check obviously is traceable.
Yeah, but if it gets lost, then like, what's the difference?
Well, like if they're like, oh, we never got your card, which I guess would never come up because
that's nobody would say it.
Yeah.
So lost.
I guess I just get nervous that I would lose it.
Yeah. That's because nobody would ever say that. I guess maybe somebody would. I don't know. Okay, so here's something I've seen at a few weddings, and it's kind of like a cheesy dance, but it's different because maybe I'm a sucker for old people. But it's like a dance when they ask all the married people to go to the dance floor and dance. And then they just like they like list off how long you've been married and you stay on the dance floor. And it's adorable when there's like a married couple at the end who's been married for like 61 years dancing.
Yeah, I could be into that. I mean, usually it makes me sad and lonely, but no. I think last night we had 55.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's so high on your list, though. It doesn't seem like something that she would be that into.
I think it's adorable. Old people, old married people, I think are adorable.
Also, I
apparently have a slight sensitive side somewhere.
And marriage in that generation is like pitchers in that generation. Like no one's gonna win 300 games. No one's gonna be married for 50 years because we're all getting married so late.
It's a lot harder. Yeah,
a lot harder. It's a lot harder to win 300 games.
Yeah, just the career. The game's different.
The game is different.
Game's changed.
Game is different.
Though maybe we'll live longer. I don't know. So what is your number 3?
So wait, we did your number. What did we just do of yours?
4 and 3. Any gift that's not cash and
okay, all right.
The marriage dance thing.
So I'm on my number 3 and 2.
Yeah.
My number 3, and this is like a Catholic wedding thing to the bone, showing up drunk to the reception.
Oh,
because they give you like 3 hours to showing up drunk to church. I admire that as well, but it's like when they give you like the 3 or 4 hour delay and you have nothing to do. Oftentimes you're like in Kansas City. You're like, well, I don't know this place.
Oh, I've torn up twice now, Effingham, Illinois.
Yeah, you're like, I own that double tree.
No, I went to a terrible bar in Effingham, like in a suit with like a bunch of my friends, and everybody was watching NASCAR, and it was like the music stopped when we walked in. It was great. I've been to that bar twice now.
I hope it wasn't the same guy getting married both times.
2 different girls that I knew from college.
Okay.
Who were like roommates in college and like grew up together, hence why they both were from Effingham, Illinois. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a good one. I haven't been to many Catholics weddings lately, but that's the only upside is that you get to go to the bar between, because or else you have to go to church. It's like early and then it's like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
So then what is your number 2?
My number 2, and this is kind of specific to my group of friends, it's loosely choreographed drunken sing-alongs. Like groups of friends tend to have like 1 or 2 songs that mean a lot.
Yeah, everybody,
yeah. So I mean, ours is Born to Run, and it's my favorite tradition. And last night they actually had the last hour of the wedding be karaoke, which was a better idea, I think, in theory. Maybe it took a little juice out of the room. They should have spliced in a few karaoke and then ended with like a set of.
The problem with that, not as many people can participate.
Yeah.
Right. And there's just some people who won't participate.
But so we got Born to Run as actual karaoke last night.
Yeah, that's cool.
15 guys on the dance floor. I took a video if you want to watch. So I actually had Bridget take a video because I needed to be in it. Because, it's a big day for me and all.
That's great. My number 2 are just the speeches. All the speeches. Here's the thing. Speeches can be fucking awesome at weddings. The reason they're not number 1 is because they're often not really awesome. But the best speech is a good best man speech. That could be the pinnacle of the wedding reception if done correctly.
The best speech that I've seen, the better speeches that I've seen are the guys you think are going to suck.
Because you're not ready for it.
And then they come out and they blow the doors off the place. You know, it's like, you feel like it's like watching a monkey type of novel. Like it's just such a rare thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
A great speech is awesome. I've seen a guy refer to the bride as the previous girlfriend's name.
Was it a bit?
Oof. There was a cover though he had. So I think not many people realize what happened. So not to give a lot of details here, but the bride's maiden last name was Keller, and the previous girlfriend's name was Kelly. So I think a lot of people didn't realize what happened because of that. You know what I mean? At least from like her side of the family.
That's a relief.
Didn't realize what happened because of like the names being close, and he was like Kelly, Katie, or whatever. Like it was great. It was terrible actually, but also hilarious. So then my number one, and this is where I'm going to get cheeseball again, and it's the dances, man, and dancing in general at weddings. There's not many times in your life now as a guy in my mid-30s where I get to really let loose. And I sneaky, and this is where I'm going to sound like a sap again. For some reason, the bride dad dance gets me.
Oh, it's cute.
But just the dancing in general, I love. I like to dance, so which makes me like not, I guess, common for a lot of dudes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I am with music. I don't usually love the music that involves the dancing.
Yeah, because you hate dancing.
Yeah, well, they don't want to play the Arcade Fire. Maybe they should. Maybe I'll dance more to that. Probably not, but
because you can't dance to that.
I mean, I've been pretty drunk and I've been jumping. That.
Yeah, the dancing. I love the dancing. What's your number one?
Mine is one I've never seen, but it is objections in the ceremony.
Oh,
because that is just passion, unbridled.
My dream. So it's my fucking dream. It's my dream is always to be at a wedding that doesn't happen. Like, I talk about it all the time, and like I want to be at a wedding where like something like somebody flakes out, like somebody's like, no, I can't do it, or like there's an objection. I've come close room. Twice because I've been invited to 2 weddings that got canceled a week before.
That's like people are just too. If they're going to cancel it, it'll be that because people are just too worried about the public humiliation of the other way.
Yeah, but like those, I was so close twice right there, right? Like that's about as close as you can get. Could you imagine the awkwardness? It would be palpable. What do you do after?
Well, I mean, the only objection I like is when someone else comes in the name of true love and objects, and it's a mutual feeling. So then, I want the graduate, basically.
So what you're hoping, though, is that it's the objection.
The objection saves what would have been a sham wedding.
Okay, so like, let's say there's 2 people getting married. Let's say.
Oh, also, by the way, you're very much on the periphery of this friendship. Like, this is someone that
100% agree. This is what you want. This is what you want.
You don't want it to be someone you're actually very good friends with. In fact, you want it to be someone that you're just a date at their wedding.
Yeah. So like when 100%, I agree. One of them would have been that situation for me. The other one, I was in the wedding. I was supposed to be in the wedding, which, by the way, you can return and get all your money back, $10 from Men's Warehouse up until like a few days before the wedding, which is great.
Nice.
I thought I was out my whole wedding thing. But yeah, you want to be like the date of somebody, and then you also want like the person who's like more in control of the situation to be on the person you're there for. Like you want it to be like the person who's like, if like the person rushes in and is like, no, I object, we should be together. You want the person who's picking, like, no, you're right, we should be together, to be the person you're there for. You don't want to be like the other person who's like getting left there.
No.
Because that is just awkward city.
You don't want to be left at the altar? No, that is not what you want.
So then what do you do? Like, what do you go? Like, you have all this booze probably available. Do you just go to like the saddest 3-hour drinking reception of all time after that? You just go to the bar. I think you just go to a bar somewhere.
I'd probably just order a pizza and watch some Netflix.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. I mean, it was probably a very stressful day.
Netflix and chill post-wedding. I literally could have done like 100 different things. I don't even know where the rest of my things are that I could have done for this. You ever been to a wedding that's done? Wait, have we done your number one? Or was that your number one right there?
Objections.
Objections.
I mean, and then I did have to qualify it because I realized that it sounded very like I'm against true love. And
no, dude, what I 100% agree. It is the most probably one of the most entertaining things I imagine you could witness in your life.
Think about the story.
Yeah. The story alone. I was at a wedding once where like it was like so late. I like like it didn't start for like it was like an hour after it started. And that was when we're like people started talking. Like in like the waiting for the wedding about like what's going on. Everybody's like whispering, like, what's going on? And everybody like, is this gonna who's somebody not here? What's happening? I was also at one where like there was just like a miscommunication and like the bride like didn't walk out at the right time. And like my buddy was just standing up there for like way too long. Like way too long. And that one I was like, oh no, because like that would have been like I was on the wrong that was not been that was when I was like in and like it wouldn't have been good. But it was like a miscommunication. It was weird.
Hey, amp up the drama.
Yeah, there was whispering at that. When you ever been to one?
Give them a show. Give them a show.
Yeah, give the people what they want. They want passion. They want drama. They want booze.
I mean, I've been to a bunch that started late, but never late to the point that it was dramatic.
Yeah, one where the wedding was late, and the other one was just like it was the weird. It wasn't like that wedding actually kind of started on time. It was just like she didn't walk out. Like she was like it was like an outdoor wedding, and like the bridal party just came from one way, and she was supposed to come out of this other room. Like this like little like other building, and somehow like it got jacked up and she didn't come out at the right time.
Well, she showed up. He's got to be pumped about that.
Yeah, I've been married for a while and got a couple kids. Yeah. Yeah, weddings are I don't know when my next wedding is. I don't think I have one on the docket.
You probably don't because this is kind of the end of it.
I don't think I have one lined up. I'll have a few coming up, but I don't have one like technically like on the calendar.
Yeah,
I have a few that should be in the works soon.
Well, if I would have caught that garter belt, mine would have been one of them.
Of course. All right. Hopefully, as you know, we've been a little erratic with our postings lately, but I think we got two weeks in a row here. So hopefully
we're getting back on track.
We'll be getting in a month here. It should be a lot easier for me. But if not, hopefully we'll have one about hangovers in the next couple weeks.
Possibly. We got some good stuff on the list right
now.
Yeah,
we got a few good ones queued up. So yeah, if you need to get at us, if you need to give us any suggestions of anything we missed or anything for future lists, firstoftheworst@gmail.com. You can follow us at First of the Worst. Feel free to share and participate in any conversations on the Facebook page. And yeah, subscribe to us on iTunes and write reviews and on Stitcher and stuff like that. Thanks a lot for listening, guys.
Thank you guys for listening. We will talk to you next week.
All right, man. Later.